Hello dear students, I am Jai Kishan. Students, today I am going to start a new chapter and that chapter is probability. Students, in class 9th also we have studied this chapter. There we have studied some basic terms and there we have solved the questions, and that questions were related to some experimental approaches. That questions shows experimental approaches. Okay. In class 10th we'll understand this question by theoretical approach. Okay, so I can say that we all are having some basic information about this chapter, but then also I am going to make you understand this chapter, okay, by giving you some basic knowledge about this chapter. Okay, so students, firstly let us try to understand that what is a probability. Okay, in our day-to-day conversation we use so many words like probably, possibly, likely, chances. Okay, we use these words in our day-to-day conversation, that there are chances to win India today. Okay, so many words like this we use. Okay, all these words which shows uncertainty of any event, then that uncertainty is known as probability. Okay, if we used to write that uncertainty in mathematical form, then that uncertainty is known as probability. Okay, so like if a coin is tossed, okay, if a coin is tossed, then we are having the results like, okay, either it will be head or it will be tail. Okay, if a coin is tossed, then either it will be head or it will be tail. Okay, so these are the results. Okay, means this head and this tail are the events of the experiment that is tossing a coin. Okay, so here like this, okay, either head will come or tail will come. These two are known as what? Events. Okay, that is possible events. So probability is what? That see, the total number of outcomes are what? 2. One is head and one is tail. Okay, either head will come or tail will come. Okay, then the probability of tossing a coin is what? 1 by 2. If head is come, then also it will be 1 by 2. If tail comes, then also it will be 1 by 2. So it is an example that tossing a coin, okay, for a probability. To understand the concept of probability, firstly let us see the topic, that is random experiment. What is a random experiment? So here I have written the definition, that an experiment whose outcome is from the events that are completely known, okay, but whose exact outcome is unknown. You can understand this definition by this. Okay, an experiment is what? Experiment is tossing a coin, okay, whose outcome is from the events that are the completely known. Okay, see, outcomes are what? Head and tail, and we know that if we toss a coin, then either head will come or tail will come. Okay, so an experiment means tossing a coin whose outcome is from the events that are completely known, means either it will be head or tail. Okay, but whose exact outcome is unknown, means we don't know that head will come or tail will come. Okay, before that event, before that experiment, we don't know the result. Okay, means before tossing the coin, we are not knowing either head will come or tail will come. Okay, so this is what? This is a random experiment. So this is how we can understand random experiment. Okay, simply you can say that tossing a coin is a random experiment because their results means head or tail. We know that either the result will be head or tail. Okay, but before tossing the coin, we don't know that what is the result. Okay, so this type of example is known as a random experiment. Okay, then the next is what? Sample space. What is a sample space? So all possible outcomes of a random experiments forms the sample space. Means if we take the collection of, okay, if we take the collection of all the results, all the outcomes of random experiments, okay, then that collection, okay, is known as a sample space. Means if we choose a random experiment, okay, and if we have taken the collection of all the outcomes of random experiment, then that collection is known as what? That collection is known as the sample space. Okay. Then students, the third one is what? Event. Okay, what is an event? So see, when a desired outcome of a random experiment is known, okay, that is known as event. Okay, what is an event? Means if we know the outcome, means suppose if we toss a coin, okay, and we know that what we want, means suppose we want head to be an outcome, okay, then this time we know that the outcome, we know our favorable outcome, then that experiment is known as what? An event. Okay, so here when a desired outcome of the random experiment is known, then that is known as an event. Okay, after that, probability of an event, this formula we have studied in class 9, that probability of any event is number of favorable outcomes, that should be in numerator, and total number of outcomes, that should be in denominator. Okay, and that is why I have told you that when a coin is tossed, okay, and you want the event as head, okay, you want that head should come, then after tossing a coin, okay, head is what? Head is 1, okay, means the number of favorable outcome is what? 1, okay, and the number of total outcome head and tail, that is 2. So probability of getting head is what? Probability of getting head is 1 by 2. Okay, so like this we used to solve the questions of probability. We apply the formula that number of favorable outcome upon total number of outcomes in probability. Okay, then students, some conditions are there. What if the value of the probability is 1? Okay, if the probability of any event is 1, then that probability is known as what? Sure event. Means suppose for any experiment the value of the probability you are getting is 1, then that experiment is known as sure event. Okay, if the probability of the value of the probability is 0, okay, whenever you will get the value of the probability as 0, then that is known as an impossible event. Okay, means that event is not possible if you are getting the probability of any event is 0. Okay, this is how you can say that suppose in a dice, you know that in dice total 6 surfaces are there. Okay, and on the all surfaces there are numbers 1 to 6, means 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Okay, and suppose if someone asks you that what is the probability of getting 7, okay, so is there 7 on dice? Okay, no, 7 is not there on the dice. Okay, then that type of event is what? Impossible event, because you will get the probability of getting 7 is 0, means that is impossible event. Okay, so that is impossible. Now some important results are there. What are the important results? That the value of probability lying between 0 to 1, means whatever the experiment should be there, okay, the probability should lie between 0 to 1 only. Okay, then the second point is probability of not E. Not E means suppose here if you are saying that probability of getting head, then there is one another thing, that is probability of not getting head. And if you will say that probability of not getting head, then you are saying that probability of getting tail. Okay, so this is what probability of not E, and it is equal to 1 minus probability of E. Means suppose if someone asks you that what is the probability of not head, okay, you can write like this, that probability of getting not head, then you can say that 1 minus probability of getting head. Okay, how you will get it? Probability of getting not head, you can apply the formula that 1 minus probability of getting head. Means you can say that PE means probability of event and P not E both are complementary to each other. Okay, and from here you can see that PE plus P not E, the sum of both is what? It is equal to 1. Okay, so this is the third condition, and the fourth is what? That PE is never negative. Means probability, you can write it in the form of P by Q. Okay, you can write it in the form of decimal, you can write it in the form of percentage, but it cannot be negative. Means probability of any event should not be negative. Okay, so students, firstly you should note down all of these, then I will tell you some concepts of probability so that you can solve the questions easily. Okay, just note it down. So students, firstly we will try to understand the questions of probability that is based upon coin. Okay, means coin based questions firstly we'll solve, and after that we'll see some different types of questions, like then we'll see the dice based questions, and after that we'll see the card based questions. Okay, playing card based. So firstly let us see the questions related to coin based. Okay, so the first question of this is what? A coin is tossed, what is the probability of not getting head? Okay, so as I've told you students, that when you will toss a coin, either you will get head or you will get tail. Okay, so basically in our sample space we are having two elements, and that one is head and one is tail. Okay, so if someone asks you that what is the probability of not getting head, so if head will not come, then what will come? Then tail will come. Okay, so either you can find that probability of not head, okay, or you can find probability of getting tail. Okay, so here in our favorable outcome, the number of favorable outcome is what? 1, that is tail. Okay, and the number of total outcome is what? 2. So here you can say that probability of getting not head is 1 by 2, or you can say the probability of getting tail is 1 by 2. Okay, so this is how you can solve this type of question. So probability of getting head, that is also 1 by 2. Probability of getting tail, that is also 1 by 2. Probability of getting not head, that will also come 1 by 2. Probability of getting not tail, that will also come by not 1 by 2. Okay, means 1 by 2. Okay, now the second question is little bit different. Why it is different? Because here two unbiased coins are tossed simultaneously. Okay, unbiased means there is no biased, means there is no cheating in the coin. Okay, and both are tossed simultaneously, means at the same time. Okay, at the same time both coins are tossed. So we have to find the probability of getting two heads. So firstly let us try to understand that if two coins are tossed, then in our sample space what results should be there. See, suppose it is coin 1 and it is here I am writing the results of coin 1, and here I am writing the results of coin 2. If the same time they are tossed, then in case first, okay, suppose in coin 1 there is a head and in coin 2 there is a tail. Okay, suppose in case second, means when in case second means this is also possible that on coin first there is a head, but on coin second there is a head. Okay. Case third, you see, it is also possible that at coin first tail is there, okay, and on the coin second head is there. And fourth case is also possible that suppose on the both coin there is a tail. Okay, so basically there are 4 cases possible. Okay, 4 cases are possible that if 2 coins are tossed simultaneously, then these 4 cases are possible. Means in our sample space total 4 collections are there, that it is possible that on first coin if head, then on the second coin it is tail. It is also possible that on the both of the coins there are head. It is also possible that on one coin it is tail and the second coin on the it is head, and fourth coin that both the coins are having tails as result. Okay, so the questions are 2 heads. Okay, probability of getting 2 heads. So what is the probability of getting 2 heads? So here you can see that there is only one case in which the 2 heads are coming. Okay, so you can write the favorable outcome is 1 and the total outcome means the number of possible outcomes are 4. So here you can write that 1 by 4. So probability of getting 2 heads is 1 by 4. Okay, probability of getting 1 head. So see students, here also in case first 1 head is there, in case second 2 head is there, so you will not take this case. In case third 1 head is there, and in case 4 no head is there. Means there are 2 cases in which one head is there. So number of favorable outcomes it will be 2 and total number of outcomes it will be 4. So 2 2s are 4, means here it will, the result will be what? 1 by 2. Okay. Third question is you have to find the probability of getting 1 tail. So here you can see that in case first 1 tail is there, in case second no tail is there, in case third 1 tail is there, and in case 4 both are the tails. Okay, and here you have to find only 1 tail. Okay, so in case 1 and in case third 1 tail is there, so here you can write the number of favorable outcome is 2 and the number of total outcome is 4. So you can cancel out here and it will be 1 by 2. So probability of getting 1 tail is 1 by 2. Okay, and after that the fourth question, and the question is at least 1 head. See students, there's a little bit different between at least 1 head and only 1 head. Okay, in only 1 head you will leave the case on which both the coins are having 2 heads. But here if the word is at least 1 head, now this time you will take the case second also. Okay, because at least 1 head is here also. Okay, so here is at least 1 head, here is at least 1 head, and here is at least 1 head. So here the number of favorable outcome is 3 and the total outcome is 4. So here the probability of getting at least 1 head is 3 by 4. So like this students, we have solved here the coin. If 1 coin is tossed, we have solved here the questions in which 2 coin is tossed. Now let us take an example in which 3 coins are tossed simultaneously. Okay, so firstly note down these 2 examples and then we'll start the question of 3 coins, if 3 coins tossed simultaneously. So students, this is example third, and the question is 3 unbiased coins are tossed together. Find the probability of getting all heads, at least 2 heads, and 1 tail. So students, as I have told you the question related to when 1 coin is tossed, then I have told you the question related to when 2 coins are tossed, and now the question is when 3 coins are tossed. Okay, So students, firstly we should know that what is the sample space of this question, means what the results we can get from tossing 3 coins simultaneously. Okay, so here I will write that the results of coin first, then the results of coin 2, and then the results of coin third. Okay, so students, it is possible that when all the coins will have head, okay, it is also possible that the 2 coins will have head and one is tail. Okay, and it is also possible that on the first coin it is head and rest 2 coins will have tail. It is also possible that on the first coin it is head but the second coin is tail and the last coin is head. Okay, so these are the 4 cases. Now coming to the 5th case, that if all the coins will have tail, okay, then the 2 coins are having tail but 1 coin is having head, then the 1 coin is tail but the rest 2 coins are head, and then the last one, that if first and third coin is tail and the second coin is head. Okay, so students, these are the total 8 cases possible, means in our sample space total 8 outcomes are possible. Okay, if we toss 3 coins together, then students, what will be the answer of this question, that what is the probability of getting all heads? So if we want to calculate the probability of getting all heads means here in these cases you can see that there is only one case in which all the coins are having heads on this surface, means the probability of getting all heads, number of favorable outcome is 1 because there is only one case such that, okay, and the number of total outcome is 8. So probability of this is what? 1 upon 8. We know the formula that probability of any event is equal to the number of favorable outcome upon total number of outcome. So it is 1 upon 8. Okay. The second question is what? At least 2 heads. Okay. I have told you the difference between getting 2 heads and getting at least 2 heads. If the question is at least 2 heads, means here the cases will be here. This case will also be taken because at least 2 heads. So in this case also 2 heads are there. Okay. So this case will take, this case will take, okay, and this case will take because 2 heads are there, and this case will take. Okay, so total 4 cases are there in which at least 2 heads are coming. Okay, so here we will write the number of favorable outcome is 4 and the number of total outcome is 8, and when you will solve it you will get what? 1 by 2. Okay, so the probability of getting at least 2 heads is 1 by 2. The third question is getting 1 tail. So students, in how many outcomes 1 tail is there? Okay, the second one, means in this case, and in this case 2, okay, and in this case 3. So total 3 cases are there, means number of favorable outcome is 3 and the total outcome is 8. So these are the answers of this question. Getting probability of getting all heads is 1 by 8. Probability of getting at least 2 heads is 1 by 2, and probability of getting 1 tail is 3 by 8. Suppose one more question is there, and the question is at most 2 tails. Okay, at most 2 tails. So students, this question is also, it is related to the, it will solve this question like we have solved at least 2 heads. Okay, so at most 2 tails means the cases we will take in which 2 tails are there. Okay, so here in this case, okay, firstly we will remove it. Okay, in this case we are having 2 tails. Okay, in this case we are having two tails. Here three cases are there, but the three tails are there. So this case also we will take, and here also two tails are there. So total four cases are there in which two tails are there. Okay, so the number of favorable outcome is 4 and the number of total outcome is 8, and when you will solve it you will get what? 1 by 2. Okay, so probability of getting at most two tails is 1 by 2. Okay students, so this is the solution of this question. This also you can note it down. Now the question is, students, we were looking at in the first question, when one coin was tossed, the sample in our sample space, two outcomes were there. Okay, means if one coin was tossed, then in our sample space two results we were having. Okay, one is head and one is tail. When two coins were tossed, so we were having total 4 results. Okay, head, tail, tail, head, tail, tail, head, head. I have told you that. And when 3 coins are tossed, so here we are looking that total 8 results are we are getting. Okay, so can you find what is the pattern which is following here? The pattern which is following is, here you can write 2 to the power 1. Here you can see that 2 to the power 2, and here you can see 2 to the power 3. Okay, means if someone asks you that how many outcomes you will get if 4 coins are tossed, so by following this pattern you can see that if 4 coins are tossed you will get the result 16. Why? Because it is 2 to the power 4. Okay, so here you can see that 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4. Okay, means the pattern which is following is 2 to the power n. Okay, so this is the formula by which you can find the total number of outcomes when a number of events are there simultaneously. Okay, means here if 5 coins are tossed simultaneously, and if someone asks you that what is the total number of outcomes if 5 coins are tossed simultaneously, so you can apply the formula 2 to the power 5, and 2 to the power 5 will be 32. Okay, so like this you can tell directly that how many possible outcomes are there. Okay, suppose if we talk about dice, then we know that if a dice is thrown, okay, then total possible outcomes are 6. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now the question is, if 2 dice are thrown simultaneously, then how many results will be there? Then students, here see, here coin was tossed, so the number was what? 2 to the power n. But on that, when a dice is thrown, then the first we will get what? 6 results. No? So now 6 to the power n will follow for the dice. That if 2 dice is there, okay, if 2 dice is there that is thrown simultaneously, then 6 square will be the total possible outcomes for 2 dice. Okay, means 36 results. Okay, 36 results, 36 possible results are there if 2 dice are thrown simultaneously. If 3 dice are thrown, then we'll apply the formula 6 to the power 3. Okay, so like this we try to know that how many possible outcomes are there. Okay, so students, today I have told you the questions related to the coin, okay, and how we can find the probability, the questions related to the coin based. So you will solve the questions that are based upon coin, and in our next part I will tell you the questions related to the dice based. Okay, dice based question, and then card based I will tell you, and after that we will do some questions of NCERT, and like this will complete all this chapter. This chapter is very short, so you are requested to just revise each and everything and try to solve more and more questions of this chapter. Okay, very easy chapter it is. Okay, so you can solve it by yourself, and I'm giving you some concepts also so that you can make your command on this chapter. Okay students, so thank you. This is enough for today. Thank you students.